Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going to be going to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do, I'm going to drink some of this nice, pretty kava tea here, and then we're going to have ourselves a little bit of a talk. Yes, I'm bringing up the shooting again. Because not only are we playing fast and loose with history here, no. And by the way, I knew it was coming. Because it happens every single school shooting. And has ever since Columbine. What am I talking about? Let's take a look-see, shall we? There it is, folks. There it is. Once again, y'all blaming autistics for this shit. If you notice in that tweet, we always get blamed. Every time there's a school shooting, someone at some point will say, well, they must have been autistic. Not one time since Columbine has that ever proven to actually be the truth. But nobody ever retracts their statements when they make these types of comments. Which is why people tend to have a prejudice against autistics. They think we're out of control and gonna go crazy and do stupid shit. Because you have the news media, every school shooting, or during any kind of act of violence at all, and somehow we always get brought up. Let me tell you all something. I was horrendously bullied throughout the entirety of my public school life. Not just by the students, but by the teachers. Matter of fact, my own social studies teacher started a rumor in my school that there were unsavory things going on between me and my fucking siblings. And yes, I'm sorry, I'm going to curse. Okay? I am what the news media would tell you, one of the most likely individuals to do such an act. Did I do that? Did I go start eyeing fondly the gun that my stepdad just years previously showed me how to use? No. Okay? Because I'm not a moron. If an autistic actually decided to act, you wouldn't get any warning. There would be no manifesto. There would be no behavior or red flag you'd be able to pull up on. I'm sorry, I'm making this comment not because I've ever contemplated it, but more along the lines is I'm tired of the bullshit. Quit blaming us for things that we had no part in. We don't do these kinds of things. Matter of fact, if you want to talk about individuals who are all about law and order, that's us. Matter of fact, if you look up our diagnosis in the DSM, you will see throughout it that we are very, very connected to, they say rigidly a lot in that definition, law and order. We are the kids that would obey the rules by default. Yet you all keep trying to use these acts to vilify us. And you never retract them. Never once have I seen someone have a press conference and say, I am sorry. I should have not painted the whole autistic community as something horrible based on a badly made assumption on information I did not have at the time. Never once has a single one of you ever apologized for doing this to us. It's gotta stop. Now let's move on. No, I'm not going to move on. Let's talk about this for a moment. The very things that you all do to us in the media is how people like the JRC are able to get away with the insane crap that they do to us. After all, if we're painted as violently insane criminals who will shoot up schools, well, it must be justifiable that we're getting shocked and tortured because it's for our own good. This is how places like the JRC continue to be able to do irreparable harm, both psychologically and physically, to generation after generation after generation of disabled people. Quit throwing autism around every time something bad happens. Stop. It's been going on literally since months after the Columbine shooting happened. We are over it. Now, let's move on. In the description box, you're going to find a link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by Autistics for Autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much, they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill. Please read that article and share it on all your social media. You're also going to find linked in there the Ozarks First article in regards to the Agape boarding school / now known as Stone for Help boarding school situation. This is a so-called Christian-themed boarding school based out of Stockton, Missouri that takes in so-called troubled male teens that has pending over 21 civil lawsuits, claims, and allegations leveled against it. All of these claims have been substantiated thus far by the Missouri Department of Social Services, and they include the following: sodomy, rape, sexual assault, child abuse, psychological and emotional abuse, child trafficking, starvation, and folks, that's just for starters. You have one former staff member arrested by the FBI, another a doctor who still lives on premises with full access to the boys, up on multiple, again, substantiated claims of sodomy, rape, and sexual assault of the boys there. You have an attorney general too obsessed with drag queens to protect kids out here from the actual pedophiles, and you got a governor, God even knows what's wrong with that boy. Just send help, okay? Send help. Read that article, share it on all your social media, please. We got the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign as well, including Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. This channel is marked not for children for a reason. We use profanity on occasion. We talk on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised. Trigger warning, we're about to once again descend into the mad ravings of the lunatic mind known as Dr. Matthew Israel. You're going to hear lies, gaslighting, victim blaming, abuse and torture apologencia, pseudoscience, and all coming from a man with a massive ego and even larger God complex. So just be prepared for that, all right? But going into it, yes, I'm furious. I'm furious, and I expected it. Because we always get blamed. Literally every single time. Sanding Hook, we got blamed. Columbine, we got blamed. Virginia Tech, we got blamed. Vivaldi, we got blamed. Tennessee, we're getting blamed. Again, stop it. All right, now moving on. We're going into that little thing here. It's supposed to be an excerpt from DDS out in Massachusetts. Before I start getting into this paragraph, I want you to keep in mind while we are reading this the 1986 decree that came out of that 1986 lawsuit. That decree allows JRC to hold DDS over a barrel. They're not even allowed to wield their authority over them and be proper checks and balances because of that decree. So everything we're about to read here, please keep that in the back of your mind, all right? While 63 students have been approved for the Level 3 intervention for more than 5 years, the average frequency of applications among this group is 1.28 per week. That is a lie. What did I tell you? State departments can lie? That's a lie. We know from the New York Department of Special Education, circa 2006 no less, as well as the victims and as well as the DESI reports and their own actual paperwork, that is a lie. In actuality, the limit is more 10 a day. Let's move forward. 8 of these students have a weekly mean of 0 applications. That is a lie. With an exception of one out-year BS whole school year, data in 2009 shows that the number of applications of Level 3 interventions, whether students recently started on Level 3 or had been in for several years, indicates that fewer than 7 students received more than 1 application per day, and the vast majority are receiving less than 1 application per week. That is a lie. We're going to stop there because why is it a lie? How do I know it's a lie? The New York report, for one. The DESI reports that go into detail how there were various red parts and bruises all over the body of the student, and that the recommendation was to take the kid off of the application for a good 2-3 weeks or so for them to be able to heal up before putting the device back on. You don't get that way from only getting 1 zap a week. Do not insult my intelligence. When they sit there and tell you some kids got 0 applications per week, then why are they wearing them? Here's my other question. If this is true, and there's a weekly mean of 0 applications, well, that means the student's not having the behaviors, right? So why are they being on the device? Why are they not being faded off the device like the doctor has said so many times that he does? Because it's a lie, folks. It's not the truth at all, nor does it back the surveillance videos that we have access to. Now, why would DDS say this then? Why would they have any motive to lie? Think about what we started this video with, folks. If people have been basically taught since their childhood that autistics are violent and out of control, that we're just going to go and shoot up a school for no reason and kill people, are they really going to think anything of kids that get sent to hellholes like this? Keep that in mind, okay? Places like this also, they're receiving the paperwork from JRC. They're not there physically. They know the information that the JRC gives them. Okay? Their paperwork, as we know, also plays fast and loose with the truth, and we know from previous cases that they will edit evidence when they're not ordered to out and out destroy it. So that means whatever DDS is receiving via paperwork from the JRC more than likely is not showing an accurate turn of events. More than likely it's a lie. We're going to go ahead and close out on that one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and again, don't forget to hit those comments. I do appreciate your time. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.